Hey everyone, Coach Investor back to another video for you today. So earnings season is up and running this week. Most of the big companies are going to report earnings. Today's video will be about Shopify. We're going to go over their earnings report. Obviously, they beat estimates across the board like always. I'm going to talk a bit about some new products and features that they have been announcing and that might be coming into the future that might make Shopify even more appealing and a better investment than it is today. So if that interests you, just sit back and relax. Before I jump into this video, I just want to thank today's sponsor, the Motley Fool. And again, these are my views and my views only. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me find the latest growth stock and innovative company. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services, the Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool's stock advisor service, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock advisors' average stock picks have returned over 500%. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more this year, you can visit www.fool.com/couchinvestor or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if Stock Advisor is right for you. Now let's dive into this. Alright, so Shopify achieved first $1 billion revenue quarter on a record GMV. Obviously, their main goal is to help independent brands compete as commerce goes digital. Now jumping into the numbers, total revenue in the second quarter was $1.11 billion, up 57% year over year versus an estimate of $1.01 billion. So a nice beat on that. Subscription solution revenue was $334.2 million, up 70% year over year versus $328.6 million. Those were the estimates. Merchant solutions revenue was $785.2 million. Estimates were $715 million. It was up 52% year over year. GMV for the second quarter was $42.2 billion, an increase of $12.1 billion or 40% year over year. Great to see. Gross payment volume grew to $20.3 billion, which accounted for 48% of GMV versus $13.4 billion or 45% of the quarter of last year. Now, adjusted operating income for this quarter was $236.8 million, up or 21% of revenue. Compare that to last year, which was only 16%. Adjusted net income for the quarter was $284.6 million or $2.24 per diluted share. Estimates were $0.96, so a very big beat on that. And they ended the quarter with a significant amount of cash of $7.76 billion. So overall, we can all agree this was an amazing quarter again by Shopify. Yes, they're still trading at quite a premium, but if they can keep up growing like this, the sky is the limit. Now, yesterday night, they filed a $10 billion shelf offering, so maybe they might be acquiring another company. Some rumors out there are circulating that they might maybe acquire a company called BigCommerce. You probably heard about that, but right now, those are just rumors. Alright, before I jump into the Shop Audience and the Shop Pay features and products that they're offering, just a quick shout out to what they're actually doing for their customers. So a couple of weeks back, they had this event called Shop Unite, and there they announced actually that as of August 1st, they're removing all revenue share on your first $1 million. That means that if you make $1 million, that first $1 million, you can keep 100%. And what's the best part? At the end of every year, the numbers reset. Every single year, your first million is all yours. To that, Tobi said, "Your increased margin is all of our opportunity." Now you might ask yourself, isn't Shopify actually going to lose from this deal? Because, well, $1 million is still $1 million. Well, maybe at first they might lose just a little bit, but for them, for the longer term, this is totally worth it because this means that maybe they can attract other merchants from other platforms that want to sell on Shopify that are just reaching over $1 million and do not want to maybe give away a percentage share of that first million. Now, if they keep on growing, if merchants become bigger and bigger, obviously Shopify will earn from that. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Now let's jump into something that's called Shopify Audiences. Maybe not a lot of you have heard about this, but I believe this feature, this product that they're launching should be something that is super important for the whole Shopify ecosystem. So Shopify Audiences is a data exchange network which uses aggregated conversion data. For example, data around which people bought a merchant's product across all opted-in merchants on Shopify to generate a custom audience for a given merchant's product. So again, this is an opt-in or opt-out option. Now, if you opt in, that means that you want to share and maybe get data from other merchants. Other merchants will get some data from you. You can maybe cross-sell products. Shopify will obviously help with that. Now, it goes even one step further. Merchants can then use these audiences when advertising on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Google, or any other ad platform out there, either as custom audiences or lookalike audiences, which should result in higher performing ads and lower cost per conversion to acquire customers and sales. Now think of this as this feature that you see on Amazon when you try and buy a product. Usually you see this thing at the bottom saying people who bought this also bought that. Now obviously this is going to be a bit different than Amazon because on Amazon it's all on the same website. Here everybody has its own website. But again, this is something that you need to opt in or opt out. Now, one alpha tester said this, just got a walkthrough on Shopify Audiences from our Shopify Plus rep. It's basically a market basket analysis meets lookalike modeling at scale. And first-party data means, I would assume he means great audience level and conversion tracking. And we get to be in the alpha, this will be a game changer. Now you might ask yourself again, isn't this actually helping out my competitors? Well, yes and no. Yes part is yes, because when people shop on your website, they might suddenly see products from a competitor. Now, when you look at this that way, then yes, you're helping out your competitors. But let's say you're a website that sells only hats. If you only sell hats, and at the end, when you go to the checkout or when you add it to your basket, you suddenly see people who bought this also bought sunglasses. Now, since you're not selling sunglasses, you don't really care. The same can be applied about the guy that sells sunglasses and gets your hats as a recommendation. How does this help Shopify? Well, first up, more volume, more payment volume. So that's always great, more transactions. And maybe in the future, they might be adding a fully working advertising model. Let's say you have some extra space on your website. You might advertise another merchant's product on that website. Obviously, you will gain something from that. The other merchant will gain something from that as well, which is exposure. Win-win, but that's just speculation right now. But I could see Shopify going into that advertising model in the future because why not? It's just a huge opportunity, a huge market where they will certainly win a lot of market share. Now, last two things is one, Shop Pay with local delivery and Shopify and NFTs. Now let's start with the local deliveries, which is basically letting you see what's in your surrounding, which brings it very close to it becoming a marketplace. We've seen the effect of Facebook Marketplace. Now let's see how this will play out for Shopify, but the early signs are very promising. Now with Shopify NFTs, they recently announced that you will be able to sell your NFTs through Shopify stores, which is way easier than going to a weird crypto website where you might not be trusting the website, you might not know how you need to pay, which crypto you need to use, etc. So Shopify manages all of this, whether you're paying or buying through an Ethereum network or through another network, Shopify is dealing with that side of the transaction. Now they've done this with Chicago Bulls, which have sold some NFT rings. Obviously they were sold out in a couple of minutes, if not hours. So overall, I'm very impressed with what Shopify is doing. Management is probably one of the best in the world. Tobi, Harley, what a legendary duo. I do expect this company to become even bigger each and every year. No, don't ask me any price target. I can just tell you that 10 years from now, Shopify will be huge and will not look like the company it is today. Now let me know down in the comments below if you own any Shopify stock. If you have a Shopify store, don't hesitate to advertise that in the comments as well. And that will be it for this video. If you liked it, consider leaving a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. As always guys, take care, stay safe, and see you all in the next video. Bye bye.